it feels like every player in NBA history is labeled overrated or underrated. Both are overused descriptions that end up canceling each other out. But there are exceptions, and this is one of them. Amar'e Stoudemire is underrated. So join me to find out how in the basketball experiment. Amar'e Stoudemire was selected 9th overall by the Phoenix Suns in the 2002 draft. In his rookie season, he flashed starter-level production. And in the first-round series versus the Spurs, the 20-year-old rookie confidently, in fact, did reach a starter level. Given an expanded role in the offense in 2004, Stoudemire hovered around a high-value starter level. However, injuries limited him to 55 games, and the team collapsed, only winning 29 games. A dynamic turnaround in 2005, acquiring a key free agent, giving a coach a full year to implement, led to a 62-win season, also benefited by an explosive breakout season from Stoudemire. And we will take a look at the 2005 season for Amar'e Stoudemire. First with the basic stats: 26 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 2.6 blocks, and shooting 55% from the field. Definitely at this point in his career, an offensive explosion. And we'll look at the advanced stats. The PER at 26.6, win shares per 48 at .243, total win shares at 14.6, including leading the league in offensive win shares with 11.3, the BPM at 4.4, and the VORP at 4.7. Now, I will just say, in my opinion, I'm going to go really against the grain on this one. I think this is an MVP level performance. Obviously, that does not match what happened in reality, as he finished 9th in the MVP voting, and actually finished on the All-NBA second team. And of course, we all know his teammate ended up winning the MVP. But there's really no denying just how incredible these numbers are. And I should be clear, I don't feel that he should have won the MVP, but he should have been in the discussion like a top 3, top 4 candidate. Certainly, Steve Nash joining the team and Mike D'Antoni's system are massive benefits to Stoudemire. But I think what goes underappreciated is how much of an incredible target he is for Nash. Of course, Nash is a great point guard looking out for Stoudemire to put him in the best spots. But Stoudemire is just the incredible, ideal receiver, bringing his own athleticism and his own offensive ability, which I feel leads to him reaching this incredible level. His performance this season is criminally underrated. The remarkable season ended in a loss in the conference finals, but Stoudemire was incredible in the series, averaging 37 points, nearly 10 rebounds, and 2.6 stocks on 55% shooting. A complete lost season in 2006 would occur for Stoudemire. Knee problems kept him out of virtually the entire season, including the entire conference finals run in the playoffs. Back to full strength in 2007, he resumed his All-NBA level play. In the playoffs, a controversial ruling led to Stoudemire being suspended for Game 5 of the semis versus the Spurs. In Game 6, Stoudemire returned with a vengeance, putting up 38 points, 12 rebounds, and blocking 4 shots. But to no avail, a frustrating end to the season. Now we will look back at the last 2 postseasons for Amar'e Stoudemire, combining the 2005 conference finals run and the 2007 semifinals run. First with the basic stats: 28.1 points per game, go with a comfortable double-double, 11.2 rebounds, 1 assist per game, and 2.9 stocks, and shooting 53% from the field. Now taking a look at the advanced stats, PER at 28.3, including a whopping 29.6 in the 2007 postseason. The win shares per 48 at .237. The total win shares in 2005 at 2.7 would end up being a career high, and the BPM for both these postseasons at 4.9. So I'm going to say it again, these numbers are astounding, and I feel at an MVP level. Now, obviously, the knock on that is that neither of these postseasons include a finals run, which is fair. We don't know how it would have held up under an extra round or an extra 2 rounds in 2007. But we can't ignore the level that Stoudemire reached in these 2 postseasons. He was spectacular. And obviously, it's unfortunate that he misses the entirety of 2006 for both him and for Phoenix, because who knows where they could have ended up and what level he would have been on then. Once again, another highly underrated performance from Amar'e Stoudemire.
Stoudemire was in strong form in 2008, having perhaps his greatest season.
Now we'll take a look at the 2008 season for Amar'e Stoudemire. First with the basic stats, 25.2 points per game, 9.1 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and a career high 2.9 stocks per game, and also a career high of shooting 59% from the field. Also an 80% free throw shooter, which is really impressive for a big guy. The advanced stats, PER at 27.6, win shares per 48 at .262. Those are both career highs. He ties his career high with 14.6. BPM at 4.8, which is a career high. And the VORP at 4.6, which is not a career high, but is just 0.1 off from tying his career high. Something else of note, he leads the league in true shooting percentage this year at .656, his most efficient season. And I am going to say it for a third time. I feel this is once again at the MVP level. Don't think he should have won MVP, but still should have been considered way higher. In reality, he finished 6th, which was the highest he would ever get. And once again, in another season that I feel is MVP caliber, he ends up on the All-NBA second team. So he's robbed of the first team again. So a very similar performance to 2005, but I do feel this is his best season. When you look at the advanced numbers, and also in the total statistics, he plays 200 less minutes than he did in 2005, and his total win shares is even with 2005, and the VORP is only behind his VORP of 2005 by 0.1 at 4.7 in 05 and 4.6 this year. I feel pretty comfortable saying this is his best season. And I know it's getting tiring, but another criminally underappreciated and underrated season for Amar'e Stoudemire.
The Suns were still considered a contender, but the season ended in round 1, and Stoudemire was not at the same level as his previous postseasons. The contending days headed downward in 2009. Stoudemire was plagued by injuries again, playing 53 games at an all-star level, and the Suns would end up missing the playoffs. Stoudemire bounced back again from injuries in 2010, getting back to an All-NBA level. The Suns were rejuvenated, winning 54 games. And in the playoffs, they would make a return trip to the conference finals for the first time since 2006. It was a nice comeback season for the Suns. Stoudemire would play at an all-star level in the postseason run, but the Suns could not overcome the defending champions. In the offseason, Stoudemire, looking for a new era, would join the New York Knicks, reunited with his old Suns coach. Stoudemire, for the first time in his career, would be the main focal point for a franchise. But midway through the season, the situation arose to acquire another star, and the Knicks took it. 2011 would be the final season Stoudemire received an MVP vote. He helped the Knicks register their first winning season since 2001. He would struggle in the playoffs, though, a sweep at the hands of the Celtics in round 1. In the lockout season, Stoudemire did not look like himself, dropping below an all-star level. The season would end in another round 1 defeat. The Knicks had a major improvement in 2013, but Stoudemire's participation was held back by more injuries. In 2014, now at age 31, Stoudemire would play role player minutes. The Knicks did not build on last season's success as they fell under 500. Midway through 2015, Stoudemire and the Knicks parted ways. He would sign with the Dallas Mavericks to provide veteran production off the bench. The Mavs were a good team, but not a contender. Bounced in round 1. Stoudemire signed with the Miami Heat in the offseason. He would remain a role player for the somewhat surprising season for the Heat, as they won 48 games. The Heat had a nice run in the playoffs, in which they would lose Game 7 in the semis to the Raptors. But Stoudemire was hardly a participant, playing only 9 minutes a game. In the 2016 off-season, Stoudemire would rejoin the Knicks, so he could officially retire from the NBA in New York.
And now we will take a look back at the prime of Amar'e Stoudemire, encompassing the 2005 through 2011 seasons. First with the basic stats: 23.6 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 2.4 stocks. Shoots an incredibly efficient, as we've covered, 55% from the field and 78% from the foul line. Very impressive. Now looking at the advanced stats: PER at 24, the win shares per 48 of 0.196, average win shares per season at 9.3, and the BPM at 2.5. In my opinion, this is easily at an all-NBA level for the entirety of his prime, except, of course, the 2006 season, which is a wash. He only played 3 games. So if we just focus on the 6 seasons, the 2005 season and the 2007 through 2011 seasons, in reality, he made the All-NBA team 5 out of those 6 years. That does match up with my own personal thinking, as I feel all the seasons with the Suns during this time, he was definitely an All-NBA level player. I don't feel he was there with the Knicks in 2011. I think he was more of an all-star, even though he did make All-NBA that year in reality. But as I have mentioned earlier, I still feel he is undervalued, should have been much higher in the MVP voting. He should have made the All-NBA first team more than once. He should have easily made it in 2005, as well as 2008. And now we will take a look at the playoffs during Stoudemire's prime. Just one quick note, I did not include the 2011 playoffs. Looking at the entirety of his Knicks postseason career, I don't feel he's in his prime anymore. So it is just the Phoenix Suns postseasons from 05 to 2010. And first with the basic stats, you see the points go up by a basket for the playoffs from 23.6 to 25.5. The rebounds slightly up, 8.8 to 9.4. The assists just slightly down from 1.6 to 1. And the stocks just a slight increase up to 2.7 from 2.4 in the regular season. Shooting just a little bit down, 55% down to 52% in the playoffs. And now looking at the advanced stats, the PER pretty much the same at 24.8. The win shares per 48, just a slight decrease from 0.196 to 0.187 in the playoffs. And the BPM, a slight increase from 2.5 to 3.1. So once again, in my opinion, I feel during his prime in the playoffs, he's easily at an All-NBA level. looking at his peak numbers and now looking at his prime numbers, we see how comfortable he was playing at that All-NBA level. I feel is my best argument to show how underrated he was and continues to be. I don't think it's turned. He's still very underrated. I'm not even certain he'll make the Hall of Fame anytime soon. Who knows? It might be years from now or even a decade or two. And as I mentioned earlier, the biggest knock on him would be no finals run. We never saw if the numbers would hold up in a finals run. But as I have mentioned, probably ad nauseum now, the 2005 and 2008 standout seasons in what he did in the playoffs, despite not having a finals run, I feel is enough to justify him being in this particular spot on this list.
If you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching.